Why, hi there, I'm Uncle Ron, and it's time for a few of Uncle Ron's Blerbs, where I just kind of randomly talk for hours, minutes at a time, on random subjects that either don't fit a full podcast, which we would do with Dave Gardner on Digital Dice, or whatever. So this one's pretty much going to answer a couple questions, talk about some future projects, and call it a stream because honestly, this is what people watch most. The games 60, 65, 70 on a good one on tape on YouTube. These 150, 200 and all that. Okay, let's talk about first the question that was posed to me by one of you out there in YouTube comment land. Do I prefer Action PC to OOTP? Or which is better, in my opinion? Now, I don't really like to play the X is better than Y game because I'm always of the school of thought is one man's trash is another man's treasure. And if I start to, I don't want to say trash games, but kind of go through and say, I like pepperoni instead of pineapple on my pizza, which is, of course, true, because pineapple on pizza is beyond disgusting, Gardner. Absolutely beyond disgusting. Don't even go there. Just don't. Then someone like Gardner's going to say you don't know until you tried it and all that. So I'm going to talk about Action PC as opposed to OOTP in a replay sense, because I think where Out of the Park Baseball truly shines is how you see how a Red Sox fan do it, as the ultimate what-if simulator. You want to put Pete Rose and Ted Williams on the same team together? Go ahead and do it. You want to load up the mid-70s Red Sox with all the superstars and go to it? That's the way to do it. You want to play a baseball league, a fictional league? Well, any fictional league is just tremendous in OOTP. But if you want to do a Lord of the Rings league, if you want the Mordor rings to go against the Burger King Whoppers, then you can do that as well, and it's going to come out fine because it's your imagination, and as you know, it's anything sports simulations wise is all about stoking that imagination. But as far as being a pure replay engine, such as I want to replay the 1986 season, and I have a reasonable expectation that things are going to come out close to reality. Well. OTP doesn't do it for me. Two examples. One is mine from last year's version, and one is a friend of mine who played the new version or the 2021 version. Let's start with mine first. The 1978 New York Mets won the 1978 World Series. Not in a gazillion years. Could it happen? Yes, maybe 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000. And again, with anything, it depends on what it is that, you can have that crazy thing happen. It's not implausible, but if I was to sit there and buy a game and say, okay, show me what you got, and I load it up the first time, and the 100 loss or 98 loss 1978 New York Mets wins a World Series, Houston, we got a problem as far as I'm concerned. A friend of mine did the 86 season using 2021 version. Don't know if I'm sure he didn't have any trades, but if it was as played lineups or anything, but the Pittsburgh Pirates won the National League East and the Seattle Mariners won the American League West, and both beat their win totals by 30 plus games. Once, maybe one of those, okay, it can happen. And in the American League West, okay, that was pretty much a topsy-turvy division. California, Kansas City should be contending for that division. Oakland started to show signs of life in 86. Yeah, it's not a slam dunk for the Angels. But there is probably no bigger slam dunk in 80s baseball than the New York Mets in 1986. They won 108 games, and for the Pirates to go from an 65 plus-ish, there you go, that's the word I'm looking for, win team to win the division with over 95 wins. No, and No. Again, there's that 1 in 1,000 thing, but to have it happen in 2 divisions in 1 year just says, no. Now, I think, and someone will correct me if I'm wrong, and I can just see the thumbs down going along here all the way, that the OOTP engine used to be based, don't know if it still is, on the VORP projection of value over replacement player. And I'm not sure if any game gets the team part of it right. But if you're basing on best individual performances, I'm sorry, a 62 or 63 or 65 win team might be able to pull 80 and 80 off, depending on what their Pythagorean record is. But they should never be that good. You should not be getting that much of a boost. Now, if he had trades turned on, that's another thing. Again, if you want to do a what-if with a given season, such as trades and free agency and whatever bells and whistles you want to add, OOTP is great for that. But if you're looking for the similar Stratomatic APA replay experience, Action PC, in my mind, is ahead of the curve. The numbers are good. I know that a lot of people look at some of the stuff I'm doing with the 78 replay and go, that doesn't seem right. Well, the National League numbers are pretty much dead on as far as batting average and ERA and OPS are concerned. The American League's run a little bit hot. If someone wants to see another Uncle Ron's Lab, and I might do that sometime this week to go through the numbers for that, because when I took a look, I was amazed how close the numbers are. Now, the Action PC engine isn't perfect. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not sure I don't think it uses relievers properly, especially in the fireman age. And I don't think it's the player's responsibility to set the AI for things. Although you can do that if you want. But that's another story for another day. So, but as far as a replay, if you want to do a strict replay, doesn't necessarily have to be as played, but I would go with Action PC. If you're just looking to sim yourself into whatever baseball universe you want to, then OOTP is a great value. And OOTP, because it comes with pretty much every season ever made, is great to get into, and the graphics are very nice. There's a lot of strengths for the OOTP, but as far as a replay engine is concerned, it's not my cup of tea. If you like what-if projects or draft projects or whatever, oh yeah. And if you like fictional stuff, that's a great game. That's an absolutely wonderful game. I think it's still on sale for $20, and it will be again before too much longer if it's not. So that's that for that. How am I doing? There's a whole other issue. I'm doing fine for the most part. I think everything is weighing. It's just been going on so long that patience and energy levels aren't that high. But all things considered, blood work came back great. Lost a little bit more weight. I'm feeling pretty gosh darn good right now. Okay, projects coming up. There will be no Action PC football project on the channel this fall. I and Al, Red Sox fan, are working with the creators of Pro Strategy Football 2021 through one of his. The game creator will be interviewed on Digital Dice sometime after he gets the beta. After the beta's done testing and they lock down, what's the word I'm looking for? Features for the year, and they make sure that everything works. We'll have him on before the game is released, and David and I will have a good time with that. Al, Red Sox fan, and I are going to be doing a multi-game project using Pro Strategy Football 2021. Pretty much that we're going to be doing one game per decade, a championship game per decade, and showing off the game that way, where I call play-by-play and Al does the color, and it will be on Super Bowl Tournament, all one word, channel on YouTube. And so because of the time that it takes to do that, that's going to be my football project for this fall. Now, if there's no college season, the reason I'm doing that is that my screen is set on a 5-minute timer if I don't touch it or watch a YouTube video or something like that. If there's no college season, then I'll probably do some college games. But as far as pro football is concerned, There'll be some one-offs, but there will not be a season replay this year. I think doing the project for Pro Strategy Football, although it won't be a huge tonnage of games, is enough to scratch my itch. And there's no probably about it, I'll be buying the game as soon as it comes out, and I'll probably do a couple sims here or there, because I'm pretty impressed with what they've done with the game. That's not a knock on Action PC Football. It's not a knock on Second and 10. But as far as projects are concerned, it's really, after last year's project kind of fell apart, although we did finish the season, I'm not super eager to go through and do yet another football project when I've got a football project going on. Plus, with the length of the baseball project is concerned, I think there's around 30 some odd regular season dates left, which we'll be doing 30 some odd regular season broadcasts left, and then the entire postseason. That's going to slip into mid-September. And at that point, hopefully we'll have a full of real sports. That's going to be enough for me to go along with the Olympic project, which I'm supposed to start this week. There'll be one more practice video, and then we'll go into the Olympics. I just trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to schedule everything. And none of that, by the way, will be live. That will all be here on YouTube. Plus, there's 2 more golf tournaments left there, which will be live on Twitch and similar tape delay on YouTube. The PGA Championship from Harding Park, which I gotta get, and using All-Star Golf, and then the Women's Players Championship from Sawgrass. I had that, so that will be coming in September. Hockey project, we'll be doing an Adams Division replay from a season I've not determined, called a Hockey Night in Burlington, and that will either be 1 or 2 games a week at lunch, because I think I'm going to leave Tuesdays open maybe for requests. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So 1 to 2 games a week. I think that's going to be the Thursday lunchtime special, and featuring teams from the Adams Division, 1 year from the 80s, using Action PC Hockey. By the way, that comes out, I think, on Wednesday. And so that will be one of the projects. I'm not sure what we're doing for the Tuesday. And we'll be doing a primetime Twitch project there. So at least 3 live Twitch streams a week once baseball season is over. Or at least my baseball season is over. We can open it up for maybe requests or what I feel like doing. Because pretty much once I'm done with... once the Olympic thing starts, that's going to take a lot of time, because that requires a lot of editing, because none of it will be live, and trying to figure out about how much do you guys want to watch me play on a spreadsheet. But we're hopefully going to make that something that you want to see. Right, what else? My thoughts on current sports. Loving the hockey setup right now. Listen to some of those on my TuneIn app, and it feels like, and when you're watching with the sound on, it feels like that there are fans at the game. And listening on the radio, it sounds like any other game on the radio. You would not know that there was no one in the stands. The intensity is there. They've been fun to watch, and yes, my beloved Montreal Canadiens stole a game. As far as baseball is concerned, I've watched some of it. I haven't had the sound on. I don't usually watch baseball with the sound on. It's just there, and it just seems kind of lifeless. That there's nobody, all these huge stadiums, and cardboard cutouts and noise from MLB The Show, which I guess is how they're filming the other things out, just doesn't really do much for me. Maybe as we go further along, maybe as I just kind of watch some things at night, maybe I'll feel different. But we use sports as an escape from reality, and because the reality is so in our face that it just doesn't feel like an escape. And when you read that X amount of players on one team get it, and will we go past time A or time B? Will we even get the season in? that's not the type of escape I'm looking for. Now, could baseball have done a better job with that? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It could have started in July. It could have given us half a season. It could have established some protocols on how to handle this. I don't mind the rule changes. If you're going to have a screwy season of 7-inning doubleheaders and extra innings with runners on base and universal DHs, now's the time to see how much of this stuff actually works and doesn't work. It's not, it's not a traditional season to begin with anyway. But as far as does it feel like it, no, it really doesn't. When I covered baseball, even on a night when the team that I was covering, whether it was the Red Sox or the Nationals or the Tigers or whatever, would be playing another crappy team, there would be people in the stands. And so you would get to feed off that energy of the anticipation. Okay, at 2 o'clock, no, I don't want to cover a baseball game. No, you're kidding. I've done it the last 17 straight days. I've written 30 articles about a bullpen in the last month. The last thing I want to do is sit here and watch the bullpen fart away another win. But once the crowd gets involved and the oohs and ahs and the interaction and you get into it, that's a different story. That's when it becomes, okay, now I'm invested in what I'm doing. And for me, I just haven't found anything yet to be invested on. It doesn't mean that past baseball is better. It doesn't mean that I won't be involved later on the process. But right now, it's just, it doesn't feel comfortable. And the immediate reaction from the hockey playoffs to me was, oh yeah, I can get into this. I mean, I watched the first few minutes of the Rangers Hurricanes game 1 on Saturday. Yep, goal and a fight. And like, okay, yep, the intensity's there. It's hard, especially in baseball, to get that intensity when you're playing in front of nobody. Now, yes, the Dodgers and Astros had some intensity, and you can understand that. Watching some of the Red Sox and Yankees over the weekend, didn't do anything. Good for Aaron Judge and good for the Yankees and blah 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 blah. But it doesn't even feel like a spring training game at this point. Like I said, maybe once we get into September, the last month, or maybe mid-August, when we start to know some standings and what teams need to do, that might be a different deal. But right now, it's just, it's kind of like, I want to like that flavor of Jell-O, but I'm not there yet. There was something else. Oh, yeah. I got to get questions out to Roberto Schiavini to do the second round of... He is our next guest on Digital Dice, and so if there's anything that you would like us to ask Roberto about his products or anything like that, now is the time to do that. I'll be sending him some questions in the next couple days, and then I was supposed to tape with Dave on Wednesday, probably going to be a couple days later, with weather coming in and all that. So Thursday or Friday, we will take those and what we asked him before. And Roberto doesn't really want to be on the microphone because English is not his native language, which is fine. His English is a heck of a lot better than my Italian. And Dave and I will do that. So that's the next episode of Digital Dice. So whatever questions you have for Roberto, put them in the comments below, and we will forward those that weren't already asked to Roberto. All right, so 30 days or so left in the regular season of baseball season. Al and I are going to be doing the football project together. I'll introduce the hockey project once that gets going, and we'll do the intro video. I'll do the intro video for the Summer of Tokyo 1964. You'll see it Sunday right here. So I hope that this finds everyone doing as well as they can. As always, thanks for the subs, the likes, and all the comments. Whether I interact with them or not, I do always read them. So thank you very much. I'm Ron Juckett. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you the next time.